to 40 million, and it's a fantastic film, brilliantly directed, brilliantly acted, and very interesting from beginning to end.
Super. At number 4, taking £724,693 this week and £2,203,425 overall, it's Blue Jasmine.
I've yet to see this film. My cinema's not actually shown it. It's one of those movies where I'm surprised that it's actually done pretty decent at the box office, considering that there is a load of cinemas that isn't showing the film.
Yeah, of course, Woody Allen. It's Woody Allen's latest movie, and I think we said this last week as well. That every time Woody Allen releases a movie, it gets pegged as the movie that's Woody Allen's return to form.
Yeah,
and because I'm hearing plenty of positive things about this, but like you say as well, over here it's quite difficult to find anywhere that's playing this.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
At number 3, it's a new entry, taking £770,239 this week. It's Sunshine on Leith.
Dexter Fletcher's second film after he did Wild Bill. This is his second movie that he's directed. It's a musical that's based on the songs by the Proclaimers. And so that'll probably ring alarm bells and thinking, oh, this is going to be awful. But it's actually fantastic. Honestly, this movie, I must have had a really stressful day when I went to see this in the cinema. And so I sat down, and from beginning to end, I loved this movie. It's brilliantly acted. The songs are very well integrated into the film, because normally when you've got a musical and the songs are from a band, like, for instance, Mamma Mia with the ABBA songs, you're just really cringeworthy because the way they're done is very cheesy. And that's not the case with this, because they've taken a very basic comeback from Iraq. After a roadside bomb occurs, they've been released a few weeks early, and it's just about them trying to get their lives back together again, their loves, and trying to get their lives back together with their families, etc. And it's brilliantly acted, brilliantly directed, and the songs are integrated fantastically into the film. I love this movie.
Okay.
At number 2, it's our second new entry of the week, taking £842,167 this week and £1,269,774 overall. You dirty boy, it's filth.
This is a really difficult film to recommend, but it's a film that needs to be seen because of how brilliant James McAvoy is in it. He plays a cop who, let's just say it, goes to extremes, and major extremes he does. He takes lots of drugs, he deals in lots of sex, and he's a backstabber. He's a really nasty backstabber. He's just a nasty character overall. He's fantastic in the movie. The movie is very controversial because I've been hearing that a lot of people seem to be walking out of the film. I wouldn't, though. I would sit and watch it. There are funny parts in the movie, and there are poignant parts in the movie. There's specifically one scene which involves a photocopier, and let's just say a part of the male appendage, and it gets enlarged quite a lot, and you do see everything as well. You can actually watch that clip on YouTube, but I would say go see the film because of James McAvoy's performance, but be prepared to actually see a film that definitely deserves the 18 rated certificate.
Yeah, it's one that there's actually, I can only find one cinema here in Northern Ireland that's playing it. That's the QFT, which kind of do like indie movies, and
I've seen posters for it in Dublin, though, Dublin Road.
Have you? Right,
yeah.
Okay, because they weren't playing it, because I wanted to go and see it last weekend, and the only place playing was showing it was QFT. But it surprised me that it actually has managed to hit the number 2 spot. But it looks great. I'm hearing McAvoy is absolutely incredible, and it really is the end of his clean-cut sort of image so far.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. It is a brilliant standout performance. He's in practically every single scene. The only scene which I remember in the film itself where he's not in is the first 2 minutes, to be honest. The rest of the film is all his, and it's on his shoulders, and he carries it with aplomb. He's brilliant in the movie, but it's extremely shocking. I wasn't shocked at all, but it is extremely shocking. Nobody walked out in the screening that I went to see it in as well. So it wasn't packed, but there was enough people in there. But people seem to be walking out of the movie, and I'm thinking to myself, you're going in paying for a film called Filth. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Bambi?
It's a fair point.
Taking £1,107,641 this week and £3,375,912 overall, it's our number 1 movie of the week. It's Prisoners.
Yeah, it's a very good film, brilliantly acted by Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal. The only problem I do have with the movie is it unravels pretty quickly in the last half an hour. It's on for 2.5 hours, and there is a twist of sorts which I predicted about halfway through. And with us being able to do that, the movie itself just lost a bit of its appeal that it was building up in the first, I would say, hour at least. So if you can manage to actually see the twist coming, then you can predict the rest of the film, and it becomes very generic after that. However, the film itself is still brilliantly acted. It is a tough watch at times about of two families whose daughters have been kidnapped, and supposedly this guy who's kidnapped them, he gets let off scot-free, and Hugh Jackman's character decides to take it out on him to try and find out the truth where his daughters are. But it is still a really good film. I think I agree with you, though. It will play better at home rather than the cinema.
Mm-hmm. Okay, right. Now, on that note, Stuart, what's happening this week? What's to look forward to this week?
Well, again, it's a week where there's not very much out. Well, there's a lot of films out, but then there isn't any big films out, to be honest. You've got a comedy movie in Baggage Claim. And then you've got The Fifth Estate, which is the Benedict Cumberbatch movie about the WikiLeaks.
Yes.
It stars Daniel Bruhl as well, who was in Rush, who was brilliant in that, and he looks quite good in this. But there seems to be reviews that contradict each other. There's one place where I've seen give it like 4 stars, and then somewhere else has given it 2 stars. So it's an intriguing movie. See how interesting it will be. And then there's a retelling of Romeo and Juliet. And then I would say probably the biggest film of the week, but it's still not that big, is Machete Kills, which is the sequel to, obviously, the original film Machete, which was originally a trailer that was shown in between Death Proof and Planet Terror, the Grindhouse double bill by Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez. Then Rodriguez went off and spun that off into a film itself, and now it's getting a sequel.
Wow. That's, of course, the one with Danny Trejo as Machete.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Now, Stuart, thank you very much. For anyone that's listening to the show that wants to find out, to hear a little bit more of your dulcet tones, or to find out a wee bit more about the Monday Movie Show, where do they go to get you?
Well, I wouldn't say dulcet tones, but there is the website mondaymovieshow.co.uk, on Twitter as well, at Monday Movie Show. You can find me on there, at Cryptic Tadpole.
Okay. Now, before I let you go, we're going to be talking to Al later on. He's going to be talking about the saddest moments on TV. Anything come to mind? What made you emotional? What did you cry at?
Probably laughs at them.
Yeah, because Stuart,
probably relishes them.
Stuart's too tough for this.
Oh,
yeah. Seriously, anything come to mind?
I agree with the Jurassic Park episode of Futurama. If an animated program can make you sort of like shed a tear, then yeah, that's the case. Also, when David Tennant said that he didn't want to go when he was regenerating from the Doctor, I just thought it was really poignant, because it was. I'm not a insane Doctor Who fan, but I love the series. I think it's probably the first time that I've seen the Doctor just say that he doesn't want to go. He wants to stay the where he is. And I love David Tennant as the Doctor, and losing him as the Doctor and him regenerating into somebody else was sort of like a poignant moment in Doctor Who for me.
Well, funny, that one did pop up a lot. It didn't. Saxon, you're the big Doctor Who fan on FTN. Was that an emotional moment? Was there man tears?
No, not really. I was actually sick of him. by that point.
Lovely.
Because he'd gone through the whole thing that was going to kill him, and then he went off and visited all his other companions, and just by the end of it, he collapses in the snow, and it's just like, just hurry up, will you?
Aren't you dead already?
Yeah, I want to see Matt Smith. Come on, because I have been a fan of Doctor Who since I was a 6-year-old, and if there's one thing you need to embrace when it comes to Doctor Who, it's change. So whenever a Doctor regenerates, like for example Matt Smith's regenerating this Christmas into Peter Capaldi, I'm not sitting there going, no more episodes with Matt Smith. No, I'm busy going, brilliant! I can't wait to meet the 12th Doctor. I can't wait to see what further adventures he has. I can't wait to see what the new actor will bring to the role. I can't wait to see where the show goes with this new actor as the Doctor. So whenever it came time for David Tennant to regenerate, I wasn't busy behaving like all the other fangirls out there who were busy going don't leave, David. We love you. We've drawn fan art of you. Please don't go. I was just more of a. Brilliant, but let's see the 11th Doctor. So whenever he said, I don't want to go, I was busy going, well, I want you to go. Hurry up.
Time's up. Okay, right, well, it should be interesting to see where those two fit in. Sorry, Stuart, go ahead.
One more is, I don't know if you watched the programme Scrubs.
Yes.
The nurse when Laverne, when she dies.
Yes, Laverne. I forgot about Laverne.
In that, the worst thing for me though is I watched that episode a week after my mum passed away.
Okay.
So the song that was playing on it was from a band called King, which me mum absolutely adored, and the song that they played was one of her favourite tracks as well. So that destroyed me when I saw that episode, and I watched it again, I think about a year and a half later, and so it's that kind of episode which will leave memories.
Yes.
And so every single time you watch it, it'll rewind you back to that memory when you first watched it, and the time that was sort of like horrible for me. So that episode of Scrubs when Laverne passes away as well. Yeah,
funny, Scrubs did feature in the top 30, but it was the one where Brendan Fraser died.
Yeah.
That one was the one that everyone popped up. But of course, Laverne's death as well. Okay, right, Stuart, as always, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
The same here.
And if we don't talk to you before next Thursday, whatever happens, we will be talking to you definitely this time next week.
Yep.
Thank you, sir. May the force be with you. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Farewell.
Okay, now before we
our guests are bored out of their minds.
Yes.
So, guys, what do you think about movies and all that nonsense this week?
I think you missed a great opportunity on the last film that we were announcing.
Well, Prisoners, yeah. Okay, yeah. Why?
Get back into your cage, prisoners. No?
No?
No.
Right.
We feel a bit like prisoners.
Yeah, no. Like,
Watson, get your coat.
You've pulled.
Right, okay. Here's one that'll get us talking. Right? I don't know about you guys. There's a few films that are very important in my fandom. But just in growing up in general, things like Ghostbusters, the first Star Wars movie, Hudson Hawk.
Right?
You hate the Hudson Hawk?
I love it.
The Hudson Hawk's an amazing movie.
You can't hate the Hudson Hawk.
But, one of them, obviously Aliens is one for you, yes. Right? Because we had this fanboy argument on Facebook about Alan Ripley or Dana Barrett. But one that I think we'll all agree, hopefully, is Blade Runner. Yes?
Yeah, how can you hate Blade Runner?
Yeah, I mean, Blade Runner is a big one. Blade Runner is, to this day, one of the greatest, if not the greatest science fiction movies ever made. It's right up there with Raiders of the Lost Ark. But Harrison Ford has confirmed... What's wrong? Raiders of the Lost Ark? Empire Strikes Back? What are you laughing at? What's wrong with you?
Raiders is my favourite science fiction film.
Yes, I know. Sorry, I slipped. I don't know why that came into my head there.
That's my favourite Harrison Ford film.
I meant to say Empire Strikes Back. Okay,
of
but
course.
Harrison Ford is apparently in talks to come back for a Blade Runner sequel.
Do we need a Blade Runner sequel? I mean, as much as it would be nice, it's necessary.
Is this not one of the things, Gareth and Gavin will take you in this as well, is this not one of these things where half of you is like, yes, I really want this, but the other half's like, no, leave it alone?
No, I've no interest. Personally, I don't think it needs to go beyond what it's done. It already had a sequel. It was called Soldier.
Yes, which was...
I think part of the problem is the fact that Prometheus, it seems to be kind of a follow-on from... He did Prometheus. It was his kind of return to his old franchises, and the obvious next step is to go with Blade Runner. But Prometheus looked great. I'm kind of a fan, although I haven't rewatched it since I saw it in the cinema. But I just couldn't see it just being up to scratch.
Would it just ruin the ending for you as well if they made a sequel? Because then they're setting it in stone, whereas with the ending of the original, you could interpret from that whatever you liked.
Yeah, but obviously, so if he comes back as an older version, Deckard is not a replicant. Is that?
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, and I think I'm not overly fond of the idea of Harrison Ford coming back to it.
Mm-hmm.
If they're going to make a new one, I think they should just go at it completely new.
I would agree with that as well, because I think at the stage, it's like Indiana Jones. When I watched Indiana Jones, you're too old. I don't want to see that character old. I don't want to see Deckard old. I don't really even want to see Han Solo old. But it just, as I say, part of me really wants to see another great Blade Runner movie, but part of me also knows it's not going to happen.
Well, at least we're hearing the word sequel and not reboot.
Okay, yeah, no, that's a fair point. That is a fair point. Okay, right. Here's one. This is a really interesting story. 106 episodes of Doctor Who, of classic Doctor Who, William Hartnell era, right?
Hartnell and Triton.
And Triton, okay.
Yeah.
106 episodes of it were found by the BBC in Ethiopia.
Of all the places in all the world.
In the Ethiopian studios.
Yeah, it was an Ethiopian